When my daughter-in-law told me to leave, I smiled instead of crying. It was Christmas Eve, and the house smelled like fresh pine from the tree we had decorated together just days before. I stood there in the living room, my hands folded in front of me, feeling the weight of the silence around us. I remember the snow falling softly outside the window, like a blanket covering the world in quiet. My son was in the kitchen, avoiding my eyes, and the grandchildren were upstairs, probably playing with their new toys. I didn't argue. I just nodded and said, "Okay, if that's what you need." But inside, my heart felt like it was breaking into tiny pieces, each one a memory of happier times. That night I walked out the door with my small bag, the cold air hitting my face like a slap. The street lights glowed yellow against the white ground, and I could hear carols from a neighbor's house. I got into my old car and drove away, tears finally coming as the house disappeared in the rearview mirror. How did we get here? I wondered. Families are supposed to come together at Christmas, not fall apart. But this Christmas, I was alone. No lights, no laughter, just me in my small apartment, staring at a single candle on the table. I sat there, wrapped in a blanket, thinking back to how it all started. It wasn't one big fight. It was little things, building up over years. Like snow piling on a roof until it collapses. I thought about my life, how I had always tried to be there for everyone. As a mother, a grandmother, I gave my all. But sometimes, love isn't enough when misunderstandings take root. I closed my eyes, letting the quiet wrap around me, and whispered a prayer for peace. Maybe tomorrow would bring something new, but for now, the loneliness was my only company. The pain was deep, but I didn't let it turn to anger. I just felt sad, regretting the words I never said, the hugs I held back. Christmas alone, it's a story many know but few share. And this is mine. I grew up in a small town where family was everything. My parents worked hard. Dad at the factory, Mom at home raising us kids. We didn't have much, but Christmas was always special. We'd gather around the table, sharing stories and simple gifts. As I got older, I married Tom, my high school sweetheart. He was kind, with a laugh that filled the room. We had 2 children, our son, Michael, and our daughter, Sarah. Michael was the quiet one, always thinking before he spoke. Sarah was full of energy, chasing dreams from a young age. We built a home together, a cozy place with a big backyard. Tom and I worked to give them a good life. I stayed home when they were little, baking cookies and reading bedtime stories. Tom fixed cars at the local garage. Life was simple, but we were happy. Years passed, and the kids grew up. Michael went to college, met Lisa there. She was smart and driven from a big city. They married young, had 2 kids of their own, Emma and Jack. Sarah moved away for work, but we stayed close through calls and visits. After Tom passed away from a sudden heart attack 5 years ago, things changed. I felt lost without him. The house felt too big, too empty. Michael invited me to stay with them sometimes, to help with the grandkids. I loved it, watching Emma learn to read, Jack playing soccer in the yard. But slowly, I noticed shifts. Lisa was busy with her job, and Michael worked long hours. I tried to help, cooking meals and picking up the kids. It felt good to be needed. Yet there were moments when I wondered if I was in the way. We had family dinners every Sunday, laughter around the table, sharing the week's stories. I cherished those times, holding on to them like treasures. But underneath, small cracks were forming, ones I didn't see at first. Sarah would call, telling me about her life in the city. She visited less after Tom died, but we talked often. I missed her, but understood she was building her own world. Family ties are strong, but life pulls us in different directions. I remember one Christmas before all this, when everyone was together. The tree sparkled, gifts piled high. Tom carved the turkey, and we sang songs. It was perfect. Now, looking back, I see how precious those moments were. My role as grandmother brought joy. I'd tell stories from my childhood, make hot chocolate on cold nights. Emma loved drawing pictures for me. Jack shared his toys. Lisa smiled, but sometimes her eyes looked tired. I didn't realize then that my help might feel like too much. I just wanted to be part of their lives. Families evolve, but love should hold them steady. It started with little things. One day, I was in the kitchen making soup for dinner. Lisa came home early, looking stressed from work. She saw the pot and sighed. "Mom, I was planning to order pizza tonight," she said softly. I turned off the stove, feeling a pang in my chest. "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it would help." She nodded, but didn't say more. I put the soup away, wondering if I had overstepped. Michael noticed, but he just patted my shoulder. "It's fine, Mom. We appreciate it." But I felt a shift, like the air had changed. From then on, I tried to ask before helping. The grandkids were my light. Emma would run to me after school, telling me about her day. Jack loved when I read him books. But Lisa started picking them up herself more often. "I need to spend time with them," she explained one evening. I understood. Mothers need that bond. But it hurt a little, like being pushed to the side. I didn't say anything, just smiled, and found other ways to fill my days. Sarah called less too. She was busy with her job, traveling a lot. When we talked, she sounded distant. "Mom, you should get out more," she suggested. I tried joining a book club, but it wasn't the same as family. One weekend, Michael and Lisa argued in the next room. I heard raised voices about money and time. I stayed quiet, rocking Jack to sleep. Later, Michael told me it was nothing, but tension lingered. I started noticing how Lisa organized the house her way. My suggestions about cleaning or cooking were met with polite nods. "We've got it, Mom," she'd say. I felt like a guest sometimes, not family. Rainy days were the hardest. I'd sit by the window, watching drops slide down the glass, remembering Tom. He'd always say, "Storms pass, love." I held on to that. Small misunderstandings piled up. Once, I forgot to tell Lisa about Emma's school note. She was upset. No, she didn't yell. "I need to know these things," she said calmly. I apologized, feeling foolish. Michael tried to mediate. Mom's just helping, he'd tell her, but I saw the strain on his face. Families aren't perfect, I knew, but these moments made me question my place. I baked cookies one afternoon, hoping to cheer everyone. The kitchen filled with sweet smells. Emma helped, giggling as flour dusted her nose. Lisa came in, smiled faintly. "That's nice, but Jack has allergies, remember?" I had forgotten. My heart sank. "I'm so sorry." She took the cookies away, gently. I sat at the table, staring at my hands, feeling out of touch. Nights were long. I'd lie awake, thinking about how to fit in better. Maybe I talked too much about the past. Tom always said I worried too much. Another time, during a family outing to the park, I suggested a picnic. Lisa preferred the playground. We went her way, and it was fine. But I felt sidelined. Sarah visited once, noticed the awkwardness. "Mom, maybe give them space," she whispered. It stung, but she meant well. I tried pulling back, doing less. The house felt quieter without my bustling. Michael asked if I was okay. "Just tired," I said. Little by little, the distance grew, like threads unraveling in a sweater. I didn't know how to stop it. The conflicts built slowly, like clouds gathering before a storm. One evening, Lisa and I were alone in the living room. The kids were asleep, Michael at work. She sat across from me, holding a cup of tea. "I've been thinking," she started, her voice steady. "We love having you here, but maybe it's time for some changes." I listened, my heart beating faster. She talked about needing more privacy as a family. "The kids are growing, and we want to do things our way." I nodded, but inside I felt an ache. I shared my feelings too. "I just want to be close to you all." We talked for hours, but no resolution came. It ended with hugs, but the air felt heavy. Days later, Michael joined the conversation. "Mom, Lisa's right. We need space." His words hurt, like a knife twist. I cried that night, quietly in my room. The grandkids sensed it. Emma asked why I looked sad. "Grandma's just missing Grandpa," I told her. She hugged me tight. Sarah called, offering advice. "Come stay with me for a bit." But her place was small, far away. I declined, not wanting to burden her. Holidays approached, and plans were made without me much. "We'll do Christmas here," Lisa said. I helped decorate, but felt like an outsider. One day, I found an old letter from Tom in my things. It said, "Family is forever, but give them wings." I pondered that, tears falling. Arguments became more frequent, though always calm. Lisa about my habits, me about feeling unwelcome. Michael mediated, looking worn. I started spending more time alone, walking in the park. The leaves turned fall colors, mirroring my mood. Loneliness crept in early. Thanksgiving was tense. We ate together, but conversation was short. I complimented the meal. Lisa thanked me politely. After, I suggested a game. "Maybe next time," Michael said. I went to bed early, heart heavy. Winter came, snow blanketing everything. I shoveled the driveway one morning. Lisa watched from the window, then came out. "You don't have to do that." "I want to help," I replied. She sighed, went back inside. Small acts like that built resentment, I think. Not spoken, but felt. Sarah sent a card saying she missed me. I wrote back, sharing little. By December, the house sparkled with lights, but inside, shadows loomed. I bought gifts for everyone, wrapping them carefully. Emma helped, excited. Jack drew pictures to go with them. Isa organized the menu. I offered ideas. "We'll stick to this," she said gently. Michael pulled me aside one day. "Mom, let's talk." We sat in the den, fire crackling. He explained they loved me, but needed independence. Maybe find your own place nearby. It felt like rejection. I didn't argue. If that's best. But tears came later, alone. The rising tension was like a slow wave, building higher. I prayed for strength, for understanding. Days before Christmas, things escalated quietly. I overheard Lisa on the phone. "It's hard with her here all the time." My heart broke. I confronted her softly. "If I'm a burden, tell me." She looked sad. "It's not that. We just need our space." We talked, emotions raw but calm. Michael joined, supporting her. By evening, the decision hung in the air. I knew what was coming. The turning point came on Christmas Eve. The house was ready, tree lit, stockings hung. I had baked pies, the smell filling the air. But the mood was off. Lisa called me to the kitchen. Michael was there too, kids playing elsewhere. "We need to talk," she said, voice soft. She explained they thought it best if I moved out. Not forever, but for now, to give us room. Michael nodded, eyes down. I felt the world tilt. "Why now?" I asked, voice steady, despite the pain. "It's been building," Lisa said. "We love you, but this isn't working." Memories flashed, happy times, now overshadowed. I thought of Tom, how he'd handle this. I didn't yell. "I understand," I whispered. But inside, regret flooded me. Had I stayed too long? They offered to help find a place. I declined politely. "I'll manage." The kids came in, sensing something. Emma hugged me. "What's wrong, Grandma?" "Nothing, sweetie. Just grown-up talk." I smiled through tears. That afternoon, I packed my things slowly. Each item a memory. Photos, books, clothes. Michael helped load the car. "Mom, this isn't goodbye." But it felt like it. Lisa stood at the door, looking regretful. "Take care," she said. I drove away as snow fell thicker. The radio played carols, mocking my solitude. I reached my old apartment, dusty from disuse. Unpacked alone, the silence deafening. Night fell. I sat by the window, watching families in other homes. Lights twinkled, but mine was dark. I called Sarah. "I'm alone this Christmas," I told her. She sounded shocked. "Come here, Mom." But flights were full, weather bad. I hung up, feeling abandoned. Yet no bitterness, just deep sadness. I lit a candle, remembered past Christmases. Tom's voice in my head. "Hold on." The breaking point was realizing family bonds can fray. I cried softly, releasing the hurt. Morning came. Christmas Day. No gifts, No noise, just me, brewing coffee. I walked outside, snow crunching underfoot. Neighbors waved, but I felt invisible. Back inside, I wrote letters to Michael, Lisa, Sarah, pouring out my heart, no blame. Posted them later, hoping for healing. The turning point taught me about letting go. Painful, but necessary. Days blurred. I cleaned the apartment, made it homey, added a small tree, late, but meaningful. Friends called, offering company. I accepted one invitation, sharing a meal, but mostly alone with thoughts. Reflecting on mistakes, theirs and mine. Communication failed us. Assumptions grew like weeds. I forgave them in my heart. Forgiveness starts within. The emotional peak was accepting change. Life moves on, even when it hurts. The resolution began slowly, like dawn after a long night. I spent the days after Christmas organizing my life. Unpacked boxes held memories, photos of us all smiling. I looked at them often, feeling a mix of joy and sorrow. We can fix this, I whispered to myself. Sarah called daily now. Mom, I'm sorry I wasn't there more. Her voice cracked. We talked honestly, bridging the gap. She visited a week later. We hugged at the door, tears flowing. Let's make new traditions, she said. We cooked together, laughed over old stories. It warmed my heart. Michael reached out too. A text first. Miss you, Mom. Then a call. Can we talk? We met at a cafe, neutral ground. He looked tired. We didn't handle it well, he admitted. I nodded. Neither did I. I stayed too long. Lisa joined later calls. We want you back in our lives, but balanced. We agreed on visits, not living together. The grandkids FaceTimed. Emma showed drawings. Come see us soon, Grandma. I did. Short trips. Played games, read stories. Boundaries helped. Forgiveness came in layers. I let go of hurt, focused on love. Rainy afternoons, I'd journal thoughts. It helped process emotions. Friends became closer. We shared lunches, walks. Loneliness eased. Spring arrived, flowers blooming, symbolic of renewal. Family gatherings resumed, smaller but sincere. Easter dinner at their house, I brought dessert. No overstepping. We communicated better. How do you feel? Became common. Sarah moved closer. Job change. We saw each other weekly. Michael and Lisa invited me for weekends. Balanced, respectful. I found hobbies. Gardening, reading. Filled my days with purpose. Regrets lingered, but faded. Life teaches us, Tom would say. The aftermath was healing. Scars remained, but stronger bonds formed. Taught quiet strength.